This video is brought to you by Harry's Shavers. They're good, and I like them. Thor Ragnarok marks the return of two characters, long missing from the MCU. Both Thor and the Hulk haven't appeared since Age of Ultron in early 2015. Well, Thor was in the Doctor Strange post-credits scene, and also that viral video that also had Bruce Banner, so that's not strictly true. So in a sense, it's kind of a weird and inaccurate way to start this review off. But look, the point I was trying to get across is there hasn't been a Thor movie or a movie with the Hulk in it for a couple of years. Thor because he flew off into space and entirely missed Civil War, and Hulk because he also flew off into space, but also because the rights to that character are embroiled in distribution issues with Universal, meaning it's next to impossible for him to get his own film. So this movie kicks off with Loki, who was presumed to be dead after the last time we saw him, secretly ruling over Asgard. Meanwhile, Hela, the goddess of death, barrels into town, exiling Thor to the planet of Sakaar with the hopes of stealing the throne. Sakaar is this garbage dump / gladiatorial planet where Thor discovers his old friend / nemesis, the Hulk. And straight up, Thor Ragnarok has got a lot of things that you'd expect from a comic book movie. Action, a bit of bloody romance, the obligatory shirtless scene to demonstrate the lead actor worked really hard to get into shape, a plot about the end of the world and or universe or whatever. A lot of Marvel films are guilty of being retreads of the first Iron Man, where there's a few quips here and there. It's a bit of a fun ride, it's up and down, there's moral lessons to be learned, and then the hero fights a person who's like a bad version of them. This film, though, is directed by Taika Waititi, the man behind such projects as What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilderpeople. His filmmaking style and sense of humor is very unique, and that humor is evident in this film. For lack of a better word, this is an odd Marvel film, which sometimes works, and other times it kind of feels disjointed and falls flat. Now, I like the Thor films, as in, I enjoyed the first one when I saw it, and the second one is fine, I guess. I don't really remember, something about elves and portals. This film, though, wasn't the big step up I was hoping for. I mean, it's funny in parts, but I don't think it's as funny as the director's previous films. And although the Hulk versus Thor scene is interesting and fun to watch unfold, after that particular battle, I don't think there's really any standout action sequences. It feels a lot like Taika Waititi was in charge of getting humorous performances out of everyone, and when that works, it's great. But then from there, the studio just kind of handled everything else. Just coming out of the film now, I don't know what it is in particular that didn't resonate with me. And looking at Rotten Tomatoes, I'm almost certainly going to be in the minority here, but to me this falls behind this year's Spider-Man Homecoming and Guardians 2. Those two I thoroughly enjoyed, and both of them had a little more heart than this, despite Ragnarok reaching for it at times. This could very well be my own unrealistic expectations not being met, seeing as I thought in January that this was going to be the best Marvel film of the year. There's also some very sus green screen at times. There's a few locations that have been altered from what we saw in the trailer, and that's very apparent. I'll say this though, most of the special effects are incredible, in particular the Hulk. He's just kind of stand out in general though. Not necessarily when he's in battle, but when he's just this giant unstoppable baby whose personality is just beginning to develop. And in addition to him, I enjoyed everyone on the whole. The cast bounced well off one another, and Cate Blanchett's Hela is a menacing and suitable match for both Thor and Loki. But despite the high stakes of this film and some significant MCU changes, the stakes don't ever really feel that high. Also, how does death work on Asgard? I got some questions regarding that coming out of this film. Oh, and this didn't bother me at all, but I feel like I should point out, if you thought this was going to be the Planet Hulk film, it really is not. It's a Thor film through and through. I mean, his name's in the title, so I'm okay with that. Before we wrap this up, I want to thank Harry's Shavers for making this review possible. Well, not exactly making it possible, it was going to happen regardless, but they did give me money to say this about their wonderful and long-lasting shavers. Harry's Shavers are a top quality brand at an extremely affordable price. So affordable, in fact, you can get a $13 value trial set when you sign up and cover the minuscule cost of shipping. This includes a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precisely engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, a rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. You can get that all by visiting harrys.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. That'll be linked below also. That's harrys.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. Okay, so Thor Ragnarok. It's far from a bad film. It's an enjoyable ride, and if you love what the MCU has been doing, then I'd imagine you'd like this also. Like I said, it's got some solid humor and performances, but it just comes a bit short of the film that I was hoping it would be. Now, on the back of this review, I'm anticipating two particular responses out of all the varied responses. Those that say that I really hated the film, but didn't want to go out on a limb and say that. And others saying, you just said it wasn't amazing just to be contrarian. Maybe one of those things are true. Maybe both are true somehow. Or maybe some films I like somewhat, but don't love because there's things in it that are good and other things that are not as good. Who knows? It's a mystery. But what did you think of Thor Ragnarok? And if you haven't seen it, where does Thor as a character rank in general for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any or some or none. If you have no thoughts, just write none, I guess. Also, just so you know, there's videos here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Just like that Black Panther trailer breakdown that's probably right there. I probably put it in there. Also, my podcast, The Weekly Planet, comes out every Monday. That's where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That's linked below. But thanks for watching this. I appreciate it. Take care.